Hello, this is Monique McDonald. And if you're looking for more one-on-one help with your voice and how to make it magnetic, I want to invite you to check out my coaching packages at themagneticvoice.com. Then click Transform with Monique and book a complimentary connection call. Let's see if we can find a package for you that will fit all of your needs. I'm so grateful for your listening to the Magnetic Voice podcast, and I can't wait to meet you and continue the conversation. Take care. See you soon.
Welcome to the Magnetic Voice, here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel, a show where speakers and singers learn how to be more magnetic and align their voices to the divine within. Today, episode 56, Tiny Little Surrenders. And now your host, Monique McDonald.
Hello and welcome to the Magnetic Voice podcast. My name is Monique McDonald and I'm here with Shannon Kropf. Hello, Shannon.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
And hi, Monique.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I realized that because we are in January, this is actually 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. I know in numerology that probably means something, but I can't think of what that might mean. But what I'm making meaning of it is we're back at the beginning and everything is as easy as 1, 2, 3. What do you think, Shannon?
Yep. I sure hope that's true. 1, 2, and 3 have been showing up in my life like for the last 2 or 3 years. Crazy.
Oh, really?
Crazy. So I was especially happy on like February 2nd, 2022. And
yeah.
So yeah, I am all about the flow, the ease, the letting it loose, whatever.
Yeah. I'm working on that. So can I say that? Today's episode is all about tiny acts of surrender. And I know that for a lot of people, they sort of make resolutions and try to plan for their 2023 and what's going to be going on. And I feel like for me, there's a part of me that's trying to get a hold of things, right? To try and,
Lord, yes. Amen.
Exactly. To try and, figure out my whole business plan for the whole year, right? Figure out who I'm going to be every morning and, in the mornings and
right.
And as I'm doing it, and is something I normally enjoy doing, right? Sort of forecasting what the year is going to be. I've been noticing a little bit of muscling through.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, a little bit of, I will do it this way and I will do it right this time.
Right. And that always works out well, right?
Well, yeah. And it is true that, I am, as always, looking for ways to sort of open myself up to new ideas and new ways of being that allows me to become even more connected to spirit, even more connected to my voice, connected to making an impact, here on my podcast and here in my work. And so I'm always looking for new ways to put that into focus and do that. But lately I've been noticing it's a mental activity.
Yeah.
Trying to plan and
right.
schedule and And so I've been thinking about my own, I don't know, maybe it's an only child thing. I do tend to try and do it all alone.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
forget to leave room for spirit. Right.
Mm.
That I'm
Right.
always co-creating with spirit. And instead of trying to be strong and, you know, what is that? Persistent and all those things that they're not bad things, but they tend to put me into knuckling through, you know, white knuckling or
Yeah.
muscling through.
Yes.
And that at least for Monique, surrender is always better. Right. And
Yeah.
what are those tiny little surrenders that I can do while I'm planning, right? While I'm doing the structure of the things that I want to do, right? I don't know. How do you feel about that? Does that apply to you? Are you with me? Can you get what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm definitely with you. I've just been going through such a weird, transition time. I feel like I've come out of a year of, mourning is not the right word, but just like not having a grip on something. I don't know. And then this new year started, and I feel a little better about just, I can't even put my finger on it. It's nothing specific. And I find myself doing that in a good way. I find myself going, oh, okay, well, this isn't going to happen the way I thought. Cool.
Right.
You know, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, because that's the exact tiny little surrender that I'm talking about, right?
Right.
It's like, yes, you know, that age-old adage, you know, human beings plan and God laughs, right?
Oh, God laughs. Yeah.
And yet we do feel that need to try to structure and try to, especially this time of year, right? We try to say, this is the time for us to put new habits in place, to put new programs in place, you know? And, for example, I am going to be doing a new workshop that I'm really kind of excited about that is called, Healing Trauma Through the Voice.
Nice.
And, I'm excited about it because one of the things that I'm going to be doing is inviting people who don't sing. Right.
Nice. Very cool.
Because I think that the more I talk to speakers and entrepreneurs, I'm finding more and more there's a story there that somehow they wanted to sing or they were in the choir and somebody said, no, don't do that, you know, or you have a terrible voice, don't sing. A sibling said that, or, you know. So it just came to me as I was, you know, making my plans for 2023. One of those moments of tiny surrender. And it just, when I wasn't thinking about anything, I was sort of daydreaming, and I thought, I bet that would be something that people would love to know and understand and to heal once and for all. Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I'll keep you posted about when I'm going to be doing that workshop. Yeah. And for our dear listeners out there, visit me at Monique, what is it? TheMagneticVoice.com.
Where do you live online?
TheMagneticVoice.com. And I can't wait to meet you and get to know you and tell you all about the wonderful programs we have here. So, yeah, I realized that I have a lot of travel coming up, which is great. Mm-hmm. And, you know, travel is always that interesting thing. It's exactly what we're talking about. Okay, so we want to go from here to there, right? We want to go from here to there. we buy the ticket, we pack and we, we're sort of have this idea in our head of what it's going to look like when we get there. And then inevitably something different happens.
I have a story about that.
Let's hear the story.
The first year that Dave and I went with a group of people from a small college out in Tennessee to Germany to teach music for a summer. And tacked on to the end of that trip was a music festival in Hungary, which I had, of course, never been to Eastern Europe before. And so the leader of the group was, for him, backpacking through Europe is his idea of a fantastic time. I'll just stay wherever I can and whatever. And so we had probably 4 adult faculty people and 4 students with us, college age students. And so we're getting ready to leave Germany and go to Hungary. And we're like, okay, what's the plan? Okay. Well, how are we going to get from Budapest to Baja? Oh, okay. Well, how are we going to get from the train station in Baja to the hostel where we're staying? We literally got on the plane to Germany with no idea how we're going to get from A to B.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. And what can I say? For me, I'm like you, I'm the planner. I want to know, where my boarding pass is and where, who's going to pick us up and what's going to happen. And I had no choice but to do a very large surrender in that one because I'm here and there's no getting anywhere else unless I go along with this,
That's right. Yeah.
And so we finally, we got to Budapest. We found the train. We got on the train. We rode 2 or 3 hours south, got out of the train station. It was probably 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I don't remember. I just know it was late. And so we're just kind of standing there like, how do we get there? And sure enough, somebody walks up like, do you need help? And the leader's like, yeah, we need to get to XYZ spot. Oh, yeah. Okay, come on. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Seriously? But it was frustrating.
Yes.
And yet there's the idea recently for me has been there's always enough. There's always enough. There's always a plan, even if I don't know it. There's always something percolating right under the surface. If I take a step out, there's going to be something there. It's okay.
And that's it. That's another tiny surrender that I think sometimes we want so much to know that we're safe, to know that, and to have evidence and proof, the ticket in hand. And one of the things that I did on what I'm calling my West Coast tour was I didn't know where I was going to be from one day to the next. Now, I know that's not for everyone.
Right.
However, that is how life works.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the things that people, those of us who have, the entire world that has lived through this pandemic, one of the biggest things we're looking for is certainty.
Yeah.
And as I'm listening to the people around me making their plans for 2023 so that they can feel a sense of control again, right?
Right.
To feel a sense of, okay, that's done. Now I can be back in the driver's seat. All that uncertainty of the pandemic is over. And now I can be back in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of over controlling, which I'm feeling for myself. And I realized this morning I was, planning my next trip, which is going to be to Hawaii. And, yeah, I'm going to Hawaii. It was been one of my bucket lists, actually on my bucket list for years and years and years.
Oh,
and
wow.
This is again, one of those things where when I looked at planning it, it looked like it wasn't going to be possible. Because of money, because of time, because of all the things, right? And and then I just had this moment of surrender that I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And how is none of my business.
Right.
And I surrendered. And all of a sudden, a plane ticket appeared, that I could afford, right? Up until then, when I'd been planning it, the plane ticket was $600.
Oh,
right?
my God.
And all of a sudden, it's affordable. And the place where I'm staying is amazing. And I get, in fact, I'm extending my stay, and it's going to be for the same price. So
nice.
There are just so many things that I couldn't have planned.
Right.
And so today I just want to invite all of you listening to remember that you're not doing this alone, that there is a distinct and powerful force that is partnering you every step of the way. I was speaking to my prayer partner this morning, and we were talking about this, and she said, I know I'm supposed to let go of the how, and I know God's got it. She said, but I'm just nosy. I want to know how. I want to know. I want to know.
Right.
We want to have that certainty. We want to know that there's going to be a car waiting for us when we arrive at the airport.
Right.
And that sensation of what's going to happen, and feeling that we don't have a safety net, or that things aren't planned to perfection. Sometimes that's when we really get to lean in to the divine.
Right. And, as you were talking, I just, there's the idea that the unknown, what we don't know, scares us or fills us with trepidation. And what if we could flip that? And what if the unknown was exciting? What if the unknown was like Christmas morning when you were a kid? You know? What if it's like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can't wait to find out.
Exactly.
I'm not quite there myself, but that would be amazing.
There is a sense of, I think that the way that I choose to live my life, even though it's very uncomfortable sometimes, is that way. I think something about, believing that you're an artist, even if you're not a singer, right? Traveling the world, even if you're not a musician, even if you're not a painter or a sculptor, we are all artists. Living life is an art. And part of being an artist is facing that blank page, facing that, practice as much as you can. But when you get out on stage, you don't ever really know what's going to happen. You don't. And I just keep hearing myself say, can't wait to see how God's going to work this one out, because I don't know. And so I am really inviting me, you, Dave. Hey, Dave. Our producer, Dave.
He's waving.
And all of our beautiful listeners here, to look for those tiny moments of surrender. Look for those moments where you get to say, okay, I've done the plan. I've looked at it all, and this is what I want to have happen. And I'm going to surrender and trust that it's going to happen exactly as it's meant to. And even if things appear to go wrong, that too is a moment for those tiny surrenders.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think this is probably the best time to go into meditation on this.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being my partner, Shannon.
Yes, you too. Back at you.
And thank you, dear listeners, for partnering me on this podcast journey. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Remember those moments of tiny surrender and that God's got you. And the entire universe is waiting for you to say yes so that it can partner you every step of the way. All right. Welcome to this new moment. Welcome to the beginning. 1, 2, 3. It's a new beginning. It's a new moment. Let's breathe into it. Let's surrender ourselves to it. No need to worry about what's come before this moment or what comes next. We get to stay right here. And it's easy. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. All we have to do is breathe. And with each breath, we allow tiny little surrenders. With each breath, we let go of muscling through the dark alone. With each breath, we know that we've got backup. We trust. We let go and surrender. Every moment is a new moment to release and surrender. We are all created in the likeness of the divine creator. We are divine creators. And we are partners with the most divine creator. We don't have to do it alone anymore. All those moments where we felt like we had to be independent and strong and muscle through and do it right. We get to breathe and surrender. Knowing that with each tiny surrender, we are calling forth the divine. We're calling forth the divine. We are letting in the light of divine assistance. We are allowing ourselves to bloom. The flower doesn't work hard to bloom. The flower doesn't have a plan that it's putting into place in order to bloom. It is its creative design to unfold and bloom. All of us are creators. All of us are divine creations. And so today we surrender. And we look for each moment of surrender. We make our plans. We put our structures in place. And then we surrender. We surrender into this divine co-creation that we are a part of. We allow the universe to step in and partner us. We know that we are now ready for all of it. We are ready for our dreams to unfold perfectly. We are ready to surrender to the fact that there is a natural unfolding that is already happening. And we start looking for the moments in our lives where we allow the energy of divine light to lead us. We don't have to do it alone anymore. We take the hand of the divine and we allow the divine to take our hand. And we rejoice in those tiny moments of surrender. And we watch with joy and divine expectation as our plans unfold in ways we never could have imagined. We know that we are God's masterpiece, constantly being created, always in the flow. And we say, and so it is.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Magnetic Voice here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. This channel is made possible because of listeners just like you. If you would like to support the channel with your tax-deductible contribution on an ongoing basis or through a one-time gift, head over to experienceofthesoul.com/support. The Magnetic Voice is copyright 2023 Monique McDonald, all rights reserved. Our theme music is composed by Dave Kropf and used with permission. The Experience of the Soul podcast channel is a production of 818 Studios.
Hey friends, Sean here, your Experience of the Soul producer. I want to take a moment to tell you about something truly exciting. the Soulworks online community, created by your host, Cynthia Alice Anderson, and available on the Mighty Networks app. If you're looking for a place where you can explore your spiritual path, connect with others, and grow in a meaningful way, then this is for you. Soulworks is so much more than an online community. It's a safe, inclusive space for spiritual exploration, self-discovery, and personal transformation. Inside the community, you'll find everything from uplifting spiritual studies to soul-centered growth practices, meditations, affirmations, and so much more. It's a space where you'll always be supported and never judged. The best part, membership is free. You'll have access to powerful resources, inspiring content, and a supportive group of like-minded people who are all on their own unique spiritual journeys. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there are premium options available to enhance your experience with a live Monday night talk series and extended, deeper meditations. If you're seeking a place to connect, grow, and nurture your soul, we would love to have you join us in the Soulworks community and see where this journey can take you. Visit my.soulworkscommunity.com today.